Welcome to our series of introductions to Quima's Advisory Board members. I'm delighted to welcome Javiera McGuiggan, Assistant Vice President, Global Business Leader at Cargill. Welcome, Javiera.
Thank you.
Javiera, could you start giving us a summary of your work experience, background, and history in the industry?
Sure. Okay. So my first most initial thing is I am from Chile originally. So I am a industrial civil hydraulic engineer. So a very, very technical background in fluid management. But I was early recruited at that time before I graduated by Procter and Gamble. So then I ended up going into business, sales, marketing, more of the business side of things. I never ended up working directly in the technical hydraulics industry. Then I moved to 3M, which, as
Mhm.
you might know, is a very, very technical company. So they really value the mix of a technical knowledge in a business manager. So there I was for 14 years, five in Chile, until I had the opportunity to move to the US in Minnesota, where the headquarters are. And I spent 10 years in the industrial safety environment. So everything protection for worker safety, from respirators to hard hats, eyewear, everything at either local, regional, or global levels. And then the last 4 years there was in the industrial adhesives world until I came to Cargill 3 years ago. So within the power industry, I am very new. It's about 3 years.
Mhm.
And all of them have been dedicated to this world of transformers and insulating fluids.
Interesting, very interesting career path, Javiera. And what are the biggest challenge currently facing the industry? What are the greatest opportunities currently available?
So, other than spend time on what we all know is our current crisis of supply chain and logistics and how hard that is being lately, that's the obvious challenge we're all facing.
Mhm.
Other than that, I would say the obvious also, but very important topic of sustainability. Every
Mm.
industry, I think, is having to rethink how to do things differently and how to really contribute towards making a difference, not just putting statements out there. It's more of a shared need that we all have to look for more concrete ways to contribute in the sustainability, global warming, climate change, however you want to call that initiative for sure. But mostly in our particular power systems industry, I think every time someone refers to the industry, they use the term conservative. And it's understandable, except that conservative in this world is turning a little bit into too much risk averse, too much lack of willingness to change and innovate and challenge the status quo. And that could be really bad because change is hard. And especially in the power industry, there's this huge
Mhm.
responsibility to keep the lights on and the energy flowing. Totally understandable that we want to do it right and be careful, but it's paralyzing a lot of the progress. There's been solutions out there, proven great solutions for over 20 years, and people are still trying to see and think if they change, if they try, if they adapt. They want to do a test, but in utilities, a test takes 2 years, and I'm being generous with the 2 years. Layers of people to convince of improvements, and then we don't progress, or they want to see the data from someone else that tried a new solution before. And those neighbor companies that have tried it and are living the benefits of it, they don't want to share information. It's an industry that is very bad at sharing knowledge, and that will make us make the same mistakes. So opportunity, linking the challenge to the opportunity,
Mhm.
I think it would be a great opportunity that companies in the energy world start getting better at 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 leaving behind the fear of sharing information, because we will avoid making the same mistakes. We will stop delaying progress when we can see someone else has proven something and has great results, that we could also implement. So hopefully every equivalent to the Department of Energy in the world starts incentivizing people for accurate measurements and improvements versus
Mhm.
punishing them for mistakes. You know, companies have an outage or an accident and they're punished. So it's not great to share that information. So we have to turn that around into an incentive to learning.
Mhm. Yeah, very interesting, definitely. Because do you think the on top of what it is, the sustainability and the risk adverse that you just mentioned, on top of that, what do you think would be as well the hot topics that we should look to cover in the technical agenda at Climate Berlin?
Um,
I know that is a very open question, but if you
no,
can
no, no, it's right. I
summarize.
think hot topics, sustainability for sure. So concrete ways of doing improvements in the sustainability world. Um, the new generation, I think, could be a hot topic, like new materials, new innovations, and I think a lot of COVID might bring a new generation of ideas. Hopefully, there's a lot of people retiring or changing careers. Hopefully, we can make this industry attractive enough to gather a new generation with new ideas and new knowledge. So, maybe how to capture that new generation of engineers and how to embrace new innovations and new technologies in an easier way so that we can progress a little faster. I think that that would be an interesting topic for me. How do we move a bit faster when
Mhm.
obviously, like I said, there's a lot at risk and there's a lot of responsibility in this industry, but at the same time, we need to push a little bit of that accelerator to improve.
Mhm. And link it to what you just mentioned, what you believe the long-term effects will be of COVID in the industry going forward.
One of the biggest that I've seen and I'm living personally is the relationship between suppliers and customers. So
Mhm.
one natural way to go for some people that have reacted like that in COVID is we need to have more suppliers because supply chain instability and you have to have multiple people that can give you the same service in case someone fails. Completely understandable and a smart thing to do, and we're all doing that, right? But at the same time, COVID itself, I feel, reminded all of us how important humans are, like how much we missed going out and seeing people and hugging and engaging with people, not just the camera. So, in that same way, even though companies are this virtual entity, they're all made of people. And we need those relationships between customers and suppliers to be stronger. So you can have several validated suppliers for something for safety. That's normal. Consequence of COVID. Another consequence to me should be this stronger relationship building because when times get tough and, for example, trucking or containers are constrained, if you are loyal and have a good relationship with your supplier, then they're going to go the extra mile when you really need them. When you pick up the phone and say, I really need your help with this shipment, who will they answer to? The ones that have been loyal to them in hard times. Every supplier will say, when I have to prioritize, I will prioritize the ones that have been with me through the good and the bad. So those
Exactly.
stronger supplier relationships are I think an important consequence that we need to build after COVID. So multiple suppliers is kind of against that, but I think that there could be a good balance between both, where you have a safety net, but you also have a strong relationship with your strong suppliers. Like whoever has the best stability, possibility, the best coverage of the world that can, if something gets shut down in one region, they can supply you from another region. Like um, those partners would be the smartest ones to look at.
Yeah, exactly. And based on your career and different sectors that you have been working, what has been your favorite project? If you can
My
pick a couple of them.
Sure. Usually my favorite projects are when I get to do some sort of translation from the technical world to the commercial world. So I'm, of course, technical. I am a nerd and I loved math and physics when I was in college. But personality wise, I'm better at business relationship, and commercial is very attractive to me. So when I can bring that balance of, I've always been in the world of sort of selling technical things that
Mhm.
are great solutions, but they're hard to explain for the common not engineer world. So when I've done a project before at 3M, and now we're doing one at Cargill of really helping our commercial team with this kind of PowerPoint interactive tool. So it's a training tool
Mhm.
to bring this. How do you bring a very complex technical concept and explain it in a way that's so easy that people go like, oh, now I get it, and they get engaged with the solution. So that commercial translation from technical to the normal, let's call it normal world,
Yes.
um, those are always fun for me. It's like the teaching part of it, the translation of a complex to an easy way to teach, but teaching overall. And this particular tool, that's a fantastic company that I work with from Sweden. They've done this work for me before. Now they're doing it again. They have these great graphics and navigation, intuitive.
Mhm.
So I love that, those projects that are like training materials stuff.
Yeah, it looks very, very exciting,
Oh, and
Javiera.
I used to be a salesperson in my days and selling something very complex, a very complex power respiratory system. And when I got access to this tool for the first time, it dramatically changed my life. Like I could see my customers in the meetings looking at this tool going like, wow, now it's all so clear. It's like this bulb would go up in their heads and say, "Ah, now I get it. I absolutely need this." And I was like, yes. So I can see what a difference it can make.
Fantastic. And how do you see the all new Climate Advisor Board contributing to the success of the Climate Berlin?
Um, I think one way that the board can contribute to the success is again linking it to these, bringing new voices. Like I'm obviously a new voice, and I'm engaging a new audience into this world of coil winding and power systems. um,
Definitely.
but new generations, new ideas, bringing to the conversations that we're going to have in Berlin, bringing the real hot topics, like not just the things that we want to make our companies look better, but really what meetings we have every day behind the scenes, and those hot topics that we are worried about, bring
Mm.
those to the forefront. Like not be afraid of sharing challenges that we all share and maybe we don't have a solution yet. So new voices and true challenges to the industry, so that there could be a valuable conversation. This is a forum where people come from all over the world and we're all going to be there, so it's the best chance to say, hey, we're all thinking about this, let's think about it together. So being a little more bold in what are the topics that are brought, instead of making it just a marketing thing for our companies, right?
Yeah, completely agree. It's a pleasure to working with you, Javier, and the rest of the advisor board. It's an exciting time. Finally, tell us a little bit about you outside of work. What you do when you have some spare time.
So I am a single mom of a 4, soon to be 5-year-old boy. So that keeps me very busy in my spare time, playing with trains and whatever he comes up with, because he's very creative. That's my number one hobby for sure. When time allows, I love volleyball, and I am actually a like an amateur singer, I would say. We do karaoke every time I have a chance. So I'm either singing in the shower or singing at a restaurant or singing at home while I'm cooking. That's my biggest hobby, singing.
Very exciting. It looks very interesting, Javiera. Well, thank you, Javiera. Lovely to
Thank
talk with
you.
you. And I'm looking forward to meet you in person in Berlin in May.
Thank you so much. Me too. I'm super excited. Hope everyone joins us and it's a great show.
Yeah, we are excited to meet in person in Berlin in May. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.